I don't know if I should be surprised with what has been going on, with what I just heard that's been happening on TikTok. I mean, I mean, personally, when I go on TikTok, I just, see funny stuff while I'm at lunch, and then I just, when my lunch is over, I just go back to working, So, but I don't know whether if I should be surprised that this actually happened, or if I should just be like, okay, yeah, this is kind of expected, brain dead takes, brain dead opinions of why uh, Osama bin Laden was justified in why he did what he did on 9/11, changing the course of not only the United States but you know the world. Okay, so apparently, I say apparently because I heard about it and I looked it up, and it's actually true that people are actually justifying his terrible idea of the 9/11 terrorist attack. Now, because I guess recently his letter was like made public, and I say it's made public because like people are barely aware of this. Now, of course, like this isn't something that you know high schools are just going to show students. So, like you know Osama bin Laden's letter as to why he did what he did. Okay, and if you read what he said, none of it really. If you're an American and you've been here, if you've been know what the United States government has been doing to its people, what Osama bin Laden says in his letter to America after his attack, if you were to read that, you would some would agree that okay, the thing that he's saying is actually it holds truth to it. Okay, like it makes sense. Like what he's saying is not necessarily wrong. Like okay, not that it's wrong, but it actually does make sense. Like for example, the United States favoring corporations instead of its people, or I don't know. Let me think of something else. Capitalism, stuff like that. But to sit here and say that what he did was a good thing or try to justify it is something. Just the idea never really like came up in my head. You know what I mean? Because I never would have expected someone to defend terrorism. But again, this is the United States. Okay, this is the country that failed with its idea of the third pound burger. Okay, because of Americans' inability to do math. You know what I mean? And if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you can't understand that the third one third and one fourth, the difference between the two, like which one's big, which one is like bigger, then that's pretty much my point right there. Okay, like Americans' inability to do math, like it with that, in mind, it really doesn't surprise me that people are willing to like have this stupid opinion. So again, like Osama bin Laden's letter was recently made public. Like it's been out for a while, but for some reason it's just barely being public, as I'm saying. And for some reason like this, that's just kind of weird to me. Like out of nowhere, it just became public. I don't know what the deal with that is, but regardless, it's public. Now, what I'm again, I don't know if uh, I'm surprised, but I don't know if I really should be, considering this is the United States. People will not, not even just this being the United States. People, anyone, like no matter what you do, you will always have a supporter. Okay, always. Now, he made this letter basically saying why he did what he did, and like I said, if you were to read it, so some of the things he says, it makes sense. But if you were to like scroll, like actually read beyond the reasonable stuff, he goes into like wreck stuff. Basically, like one of them being that Americans accepting homosexuality, okay, embracing Islam, which here in the United States, I'm thinking maybe I'm just taking a wild number. I'm just taking like a wild guess when I say this. It could be higher or lower, but based on the people I've interacted with, in one way, shape, or form, people, the majority of Americans are Christian. Okay, this is, I think a Christian country, but of course, there's some atheists out there. That's fine. That's the great thing about America, despite its flaws. You can believe in what you want. You can believe whatever you want. You know what I mean? But he basically saying that we should openly. That's pretty much one reason why he did what he did, and just these things like if you were to read his letter, you would see like the horrible thing that he believed in. Which, if again, him being a terrorist, like it makes sense why he would think that. He thinks like that. You know what I mean? And people just openly here defending it is came in my head. Never popped. Knowing modern day society of 2023, as of me recording this video, people will defend anything. To be honest with you, like just straight up, like people will defend anything. People will hate on anything. People will defend Osama bin Laden. People will hate Mr. Africa. It is what it is. It's insane. It's stupid. But can I really be surprised? Can we be surprised that stuff like this happens in 2023?